everyone, it's Zach with Z Squared Gaming. I have a new pickup video here for you, and this is for the month of January of 2025. I don't have a whole ton of stuff, but I do have a good kind of mix of stuff, so I'll get right into it here. First off, I'll, just like all my other videos, I will be going through the games that are going to be doubles and going for sale. I like to, of course, get these videos done so that I can get these games into my for sale pile. In fact, I do have a swap tomorrow. It's actually called Collector Mania, and I'm filming this on Friday the 21st, and that the Collector Mania is tomorrow the 22nd. That is located in St. Cloud. It's done once a year. This is the second time that they've done it, so hopefully I see some of you out there that are around the Twin Cities. And like I said, let me get right into the games here. I'm not going to remember exactly where I got everything, even though it was just about a month ago. I was just kind of looking through some stuff and didn't catch where everything was, but I'll try to remember here. So first things off is starting with Nintendo games. First thing here is a Super Nintendo X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. I picked this one up at Another Man's Treasure for, of course, a good deal. Now this next game I did pick up at a Goodwill, which was pretty crazy. This was in with the kids' movies, and I was just kind of flabbergasted when I saw the spine of this particular game because I wasn't expecting it, and that is Teen Titans on the GameCube. Unfortunately, it is missing the manual, but I already did have this in the collection, so this is, of course, going to be double for sale. So just really cool to find at a Goodwill, especially in the kids section. That was kind of funny. Next games here are for the Wii, and it looks like I do have a loose copy of a new Super Mario Brothers Wii. And I think this one is in pretty rough shape, so I'll have to run it through my resurfacer. Hopefully that will clean up okay. And I may actually have some extra cases as well, so I might be able to complete that as well. And then some more Wii games here. I got Wii Play. It's actually a pretty decent game. It was very popular when the Wii came out because a majority of the games came with an outer box, and then you got a second remote. So back when I was working at Target, I would typically try to sell this along with the system, just so that the customer would get a second controller, and then they would, of course, get this game. So it's actually a pretty fun game. I've actually used this game to test Wii's quite a bit because of the controls that are used. So I actually really enjoy the tank game. That's really fun. And then, like I just said, it does kind of test all the different functions of the Wii remote and the nunchuck as well too. So next game here is Just Dance 3. Another copy of Wii Play. That's kind of funny. And then Kung Fu Panda. And I did just notice that this one has says bonus unlockable character, so I'll have to check that to see if that is maybe a variant from the other game that's in my collection already type of thing. So that does happen from time to time where I'll be kind of looking at condition and seeing which one's the best, looking at cover art, looking at the manual or booklet inside, and then of course the disc. I will come across that I have a variant copy as the second one, so then of course I have to keep that one. Not of course, but that's just how I do my collection. So I am getting a lot of variants too. Sometimes like the disc label is different too, so pretty fun to come across it. Then again, not so fun because it's one less game that I have for resale to make my money back. So next game here, nothing too crazy, is a Wii U game, Just Dance Disney Party 2. Those are always fun to come and see that blue color case, and then unfortunately you get Just Dance. All right, getting into the Xbox here. Unfortunately, I don't have any original Xbox going as doubles, but I do have a few 360 games. I have UFC Undisputed 3. These are likely from, Goodwills or thrift stores. It's, of course, very cold here in Minnesota, so there's no garage sales to go to. And the next one here is Cabela's Big Game Hunter Pro Hunts. I know this one does hold a little bit of value, so that one might have actually been at Another Man's Treasure, if I remember correctly. And then Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And I don't know if this is really considered a game or not, but Xbox Live Arcade Unplugged. Not quite sure if that's just the like arcade, like Xbox Live itself. And then the last one here is actually probably the best one, Tekken 6. And then it looks like I do have one Xbox One game. That is the Day 1 edition of Rise, Son of Rome. And I think I purchased this thinking that I needed it, but I already had it, of course. That's why it's in my double pile. I think I, at the time, didn't still need the, like a special edition or something like that of that game. But continuing on here, I have one PlayStation 2 game. That's Women's Volleyball Championship. I saw this, I think, at a thrift store and just grabbed it because it was cheap. I thought I needed it because it just didn't look very familiar, but ended up having it in my collection already. Right, and then I do have a loose copy of Soul Calibur 4 for the PlayStation 3. And I just have it in case there. And then I do have Elder Scrolls Skyrim on the PlayStation 3. The Last of Us, and it looks like one PlayStation 4 game, and that's Greatest Hits version of God of War. And I do have it in a protector there because it is sealed. So, all right, that's it for all my doubles. I will get into the items that are going into the collection. I do have a couple of large items, which I'm going to do first to just kind of get them out of the way here. First things off, it was pretty cool. I think I got this at a Goodwill, if I remember correctly. But it is a Xbox piggy bank. And as you can see on the top, there is that little slot for the coins to go into. And then it does have the bottom where you can open it up to get the coins out. So I just thought that was a pretty cool little grab. I probably paid $4 or $5 for it at the Goodwill. So just something to have on one of my shelves, you know, that doesn't have games on it already type of thing. So. And then the next thing here is another thing that I picked up at a Goodwill. This is Buzz Quiz TV. It does have all 4 of the little buzz pad things that is needed, but it doesn't have the game. It's not in the greatest condition, but it was just a few bucks, just kind of like the bank, and it was just kind of nice to grab for the collection type of thing. Who knows, in the future, maybe I'll find another better quality one to... and then be able to just sell that one back. But all right, and then continuing on here, can't quite remember. I think I got this at a Family Pathways, and it is the cord for a Rocksmith, and I think that's for the 360 or Xbox One. I don't think it has a specific that it says that it's for a specific one. It just says Rocksmith USB guitar adapter. I wonder if you could actually use it for both the Xbox and the PlayStation. But those are always nice to grab so that if you get the game, you can combine it with this and get a little bit more value out of it. I want to say I already have one of these, but I figured I'd pick up the second one for the collection to have for, you know, the other version type of thing, the other console. All right, and then a couple other large items, or semi-large, I should say. I believe I picked up both of these at Goodwills, but at separate times. First one here is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a Tiger handheld. I did grow up with a few of these Tiger handhelds. If I remember correctly, I think I had baseball and football, and I think it was pinball as well, if I remember correctly. So I might have had one more. I think I might have had an X-Men, if I remember correctly. And I think we must have sold them or threw them away or something like that in the past. So I'm trying to kind of get them back again. Never had the Sonic one, but that was still fun to find, just for a few bucks. And then lo and behold, I did find a football one. I think I have already found a baseball one as well. That I don't remember if I even put that in one of my previous videos, but a lot of people do like these little Tiger handhelds, so I will just probably, as I find them, I'll probably put them in the videos here. So fun to grab and add to the little collection. Then I do have a couple of controllers here. I have a off-brand Power A Switch controller. This one will likely go to either my brother or one of my nieces or nephew as like a Christmas or a birthday present type of thing. If I remember correctly, one of the special buttons on the back here wasn't working, but I figured that might not be that big of a deal. I suppose I could pull it apart and just see if there's some dirt or something in there as well too. So, you know, it's not as sturdy or solid feeling as a Pro controller, but I thought it would still be pretty fun to kind of give away as a present to them. So, and then just a couple more controllers here. I got a Sony original PlayStation controller. Needs to get some cleanup done on it. And then I also got a PlayStation 2 DualShock 2 controller as well. That's black. These were actually put together in a bundle at a thrift store. I want to say it was Family Pathways, if I remember correctly. And so that was kind of a nice grab to get both of those together for, I think it was like $5 or $6 for both of those. So just nice to have to bundle with consoles if I need to for them in the future type of thing. So, right, and then that's it for kind of the bigger stuff. I'll get right into the games here. I will start with PlayStation as it's right in front of me. And the first one here, I don't quite recall. I want to say I got this at a thrift store, but it is a kind of a specialized one, and it's a Ratchet and Clank Size Matters Greatest Hits. But it's in this little, and it's a PSP game. It's in this little cardboard case. I believe these go in with the when you get the system and then a game along with, you know, bundled into the system. And I think this is how they were bundled in, was with these little cardboard containers. So if you guys know about that and want to tell me, please let me know down in the comments in regards to that. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. I do remember getting a complete in box copy. I shouldn't say complete in box, but a console, a PSP console that was supposed to have a specific game in it. And I don't remember if this is the game or not, but just thought I'd, you know, kind of pick that up as it is kind of unique, and the cardboard box is actually in pretty decent condition. So, all right, and then on to the other games here. I got one PlayStation 1 game that is The Legend of Dragoon. It's missing the manual, and sadly enough, I thought I already had a copy of this that didn't have all the discs, but had the manual, but apparently that's not the case. So I now have two cases for this game with the greatest hits that don't have the manual, but I do now have a complete kind of game in regards to the discs. So the other copy that I have, it's actually behind me here, probably not in camera, but I think it only had 2 of the 4 discs. So at least I have a full game to be able to play in the future. All right, and then I do have a few PlayStation 2 games here. 187 Ride or Die. I got that at a Goodwill. Commandos 2 Men of Courage. Cannot recall where I picked that up. I'm guessing that was a Goodwill as well. And then, crazy enough, I thought I already had this in the collection, but I have a greatest hits copy, and that is Simpsons Road Rage. So that was pretty sweet to pick up and add to the collection. So like I said, I already have this in greatest hits, but I just didn't have the black label. So that was fun to find at a Goodwill and add to the collection. All right, and then into the PlayStation 3 games. I have Batman, the Telltale series. Thought I had that one as well, but apparently not. And then I did pick up the Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, and that's the greatest hits. And then a limited edition Twisted Metal. And that's it for PS3. I'm not quite sure where I picked those up. I can't quite remember. Then I do have some PS4 games here. I have a loose copy of Assassin's Creed Chronicles. And then I picked up Constructor. Construction Meets Corruption. Looks like a pretty interesting game. That one I picked up at a thrift store, a new one that I had not heard of. It wasn't like a Goodwill or Family Pathways. It was kind of a standalone. And and I picked up a lot of good stuff. And now that I think about it, I think a lot of those Wii games earlier that I was picking up for resale were from that same thrift store. So it was kind of cool. I was in a Goodwill and just kind of started talking with another customer there, and she said, "Oh, do you know about the other, thrift store down the street?" And I was like, "No, I don't." So she told me where it was, and that's where I went, and I picked up a good amount of video games there for good prices too. So that was pretty sweet. All right, and then continuing on here, PlayStation 4 Just Dance 2018. Always fun to get those Just Dance games. All right, and then I do have a Gran Turismo Sport, and that's the VR. That's got to be pretty crazy to be doing Gran Turismo with VR. One of these days I should hook up my VR, but I suppose I need I can't remember, do you need a PlayStation 4 Pro for that, which I don't have any pros at this point. But anyway, Lego Marvel Superheroes. And then I got a sealed copy of Wreckfest. And I don't think I picked that up at a Target or a Walmart. I think this one was at a thrift store, if I remember correctly. It might have been Another Man's Treasure. And then, I do have one more PS4 game that was in with the PS5 games. And that is The Last of Us Part 2. Now this one I believe I did pick up at a Target or a Walmart, either on sale or on clearance. But I just didn't have that copy previously, so I figured I'd pick it up. Now these next ones I did for sure pick up at a Target or a Walmart, and they were either on sale or on clearance. And the first one here is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. The next one is Alone in the Dark. And then oddly enough, the last one is Goat Simulator 3. Those were all sealed, so as you can see. And then I did pick up a open copy, complete in box, Front Mission First Limited Edition. That one I did pick up at a Goodwill. I'm sorry, not at a Goodwill, at a GameStop. So that's all the PlayStation games. So I will get right into the Nintendo games. That's also right here in front of me. All right, and I did pick up a double copy of the X-Men earlier, and along with that at a Another Man's Treasure, I did pick up 3 games here for the Super Nintendo that I needed for the collection. I did pay up a little bit for this, but not as much as it's worth. That's kind of how I pick up stuff. And the first one here is Kirby Superstar. 8 games in 1. Awesome to grab. And then Tasmania. And then one sports title, last one, NHL 94. Right, and then I did pick up some DS games as well. I believe this first one was from Another Man's Treasure as well, and that's a combo pack of Clue, Mousetrap, Perfection, and Aggravation. And I believe this next one was also from Another Man's Treasure as well, and that's Transformers Animated the Game. That was either Another Man's Treasure or Goodwill, if I remember correctly. And then this last one I did pick up at a Goodwill, and it's a sealed copy of Imagine Teacher Class Trip. Right, and then getting into the consoles here. Well, I suppose kind of consoles, so you'll see what I mean. Next one here is a Wii game. I'll actually do the sports one here first. Backyard Football 09. And then I did pick up Monster 4x4 Stunt Racer. And then the last one here, which I was kind of surprised that it didn't have already, but of course needed for the collection, Mario Power Tennis. I would have to say that I never was very good or played very much tennis in like real life in grade school or anything like that, but I always did enjoy Mario Tennis on the N64. So it's kind of just weird that I enjoyed that so much on the N64. So, and comment down below which one you like the most as far as Mario Tennis, Wii, N64. Can't recall, is there one on the Super Nintendo? Don't remember if there was one on the Super Nintendo. But anyway, comment down below which Mario Tennis that you enjoyed the most. So. Alright, and then I did pick up some Switch games, and these were all on clearance at Walmart. First one here is Lego Brawls. And then Cuphead. Thought that was pretty crazy to see on clearance. And then Harvest Moon, The Wind of Anthos. Might have mispronounced that. And then Hogwarts Legacy. I know there's a lot of controversy regarding that one. And then the last one here is Star Wars Jedi Knight Collection. So it's a combo pack of the first and second Jedi Knight game. So pretty sweet to get. I know I think my best friend really got into these games when they were first coming out. I didn't have them when they were first coming out, so I didn't get into them as much as some other people. All right, and then the last deck here is all Xbox, at least after this first thing here. I'm not actually quite sure what system this is for. It is a steel case for Battlefield 1, and I think they kind of make these so that they're not necessarily for one particular system. So it doesn't have the game, it's just the steel book or steel case, but still always fun to grab these. I can't remember, I think I was putting these in a specific place, but now I can't remember where they are. Oh yeah, I do see them now. So I have a couple of Call of Duty ones that are just like this as well too. So all right, and then into the Xbox, like I just said, I am focusing on the original Xbox. I do have quite a few adding into the collection. First one here is a sealed one. I picked this one up at a swap, and that is Dead or Alive Ultimate. And that's, like I said, sealed, and it's in really good shape. I think I paid a little bit under what market is for this, but I figured if anything, this one will probably only go up in price, especially since it's sealed. So pretty sweet to get that. And then I did get a couple of the collector's edition for Mortal Kombat Deception. And I got the, boy, I can never remember what these names are, Melina edition. And then I also got the another one, and that's the Baraka edition. And one of these is missing the actual game itself. Yeah, so it's this one here, the Baraka edition. Does have the special edition disc, but not just the normal disc. And I figured that would be the easiest kind of item to add to one of these, as I could just get an extra disc from another game to complete this. But then this one was complete, and then there is two others. I do have, I think, one other complete one, and then unfortunately, I want to say the most expensive one, I am missing the special edition disc itself, so that one will probably be the hardest to find. Might have to just find it complete and then sell off the kind of the extra pieces. So, and then I do have just a few just kind of not so expensive games that I picked up at, I think, mainly the swaps that I've been at. Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb collection, and I'm sure I mispronounced that. And then Psyops, the Mindgate Conspiracy. That one looks like interesting game to play. And then Zapper. I know that's been out on other systems, I think both the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. And then surprising, I thought I already had this one, but Robots. It's a pretty interesting movie to watch. Dynasty Warriors 5. Pretty much all the same game. And then I didn't have just the single by itself, Star Wars Clone Wars. You see the combo pack everywhere. I think it's this and Tetris Worlds, if I remember correctly. But I never find this one by itself, so that's why I picked it up. And then the last original Xbox, Samurai Warriors. Alright, and then I do have a few Xbox 360 and 2 Xbox One games. Alright, and let's see here. I don't quite remember I picked up this first one, likely a thrift store because it is a sports game, and that is MLB Front Office Manager. I think this one might have just a little bit more value than a normal sports game, but again, I needed it for the collection, so of course I had to pick it up. And then these last two, I want to say I picked up at a GameStop, and first one here is Snoopy's Grand Adventure. Those can be some pretty fun games, if I remember correctly. And then Legendary was the last Xbox 360 game. Do have two brand new sealed Xbox Series X games. First one here is Need for Speed Unbound. and it is in the protective cases to protect the seals. And then the last one here is, unfortunately, not even a game. If you let me just show it to you. So it's a code to download the game, which this one I didn't pay very much more. It must have been on clearance, and that's Fortnite Mighty Legends Pack. Now, like I said, it is just the the download code, but it does come in a normal game case, and it does say right on the top, add-on content, download code inside, no disc included. I figured that these might be kind of worth something in the future, especially with them being sealed. And then, of course, I didn't have it for my collection, so I picked it up. So that's it, everyone. So thank you for sticking around, and hopefully this is a little bit shorter one than others. And thank you for subscribing. I have gotten a little bit of new subscribers last couple of months, so that's pretty awesome, and hopefully I'll just continue to grow the channel and kind of get some out there. Please like this video. That certainly helps get kind of the word out. I know one of my last ones that got a pretty good kind of viewing was the one that I had gotten the Kuan for the PlayStation 2, of course, and so if you haven't yet, please subscribe down below. Please comment something like that you think I should play out of what I picked up here, or that you liked, or just let's chat and get to know each other a little bit. So thank you guys for sticking around, and have a good one, and God bless.